Why, hello there, and welcome back to what could possibly be the dumbest thing you ever watched all day. Yes, folks, welcome back to me. Just the other day, I was talking to someone, and they said to me, you must meet the most incredible people. And I got thinking about it. And you know what? I have met some absolutely wonderful people. I've met some horrifically disgusting people. But I wanted to do a quick video and just let people know the different types of guys you're going to meet here living in Thailand as an expat, a tourist, you name it, whatever brings you to Thailand. At some point in your journey here, you're going to meet one of the following people. So hopefully nobody takes offense to this. Here are the different types of people that you're going to meet walking down the street each day. The bar fly. This is the guy that is always at the bar. Doesn't have to be a girly bar, a go-go bar, or anything like that. He is just always at the bar, drinking a beer, drinking a cocktail, whatever. It's his whole life. It's all he does. And I can tell you with great experience that I see pretty much every single bar has one or two barflies, where you'll walk by at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, that guy's sitting there sucking back a beer. On your way back home at 6 or 7 o'clock, he's still sitting there sucking on a beer. And it is every single day that they're going and doing this. Typically, it's the older guys. It's the guys that are like 55 to 70 years old, and they're just sitting there doing nothing but wasting away in the bars. They rarely ever go to the beach. They don't do temple tours. They do nothing but just sit there and drink the cheapest beer that they can find, which actually, if you're going to be drinking all day, makes sense. But they do. They just sit there and do nothing but drink beer or whatever all day long. Very depressing guys. Usually they're the ones that fall into a lot of the other categories that I'm going to go over in this video. And you don't want to hear their stories because pretty much all of their stories are exactly the same. Now, this kind of goes with the barfly guy, okay? And it's the poor guy that's trying to hide and run away from his demons. So many people, you know, they get hooked on whatever back at home and they think, oh, if I could just get out of this situation, life would be so much better. And yeah, it's really not. They'll come halfway around the world to Thailand and be completely alone all the time, and their vices, man, are everywhere. I'm going to tell you something. There's not a drug that you can possibly think of that you cannot get like that on the streets of Phuket. You walk down Bangla Road, and by the time you're done walking from the top of Bangla down to where the beach is, you will have been offered every single drug you can possibly think of. Guys will go like this if you want heroin. They'll go like this if you're looking for some blow. Man, I'm going to tell you something. Drugs are everywhere. So there are a pile of guys that have come here trying to escape their demons, trying to, you know, get away from their addictions. And the sad part is, again, it's everywhere here. And of course, just the same as back home, that first sample is going to be cheap, or it could even be free, because they know that once they got you hooked, yeah. I've been very fortunate. I've only met a few of these guys, and it never pans out well for them. As you know, I talked about a guy just a couple of months ago that was killed over in Bang Tao, who was, you know, they found him with all kinds of drugs in his room. So at the end of the day, it's you're gonna find them. They are everywhere. They're not hard to spot. I can tell you that much, because for the most part, they're a little bit out of it. You know, they're very nervous, fidgety, running around, and when you see them, they're usually on something, and it's not a pretty sight. So yeah, you will definitely find a lot of people here trying to hide from their demons, but this is not the place to seek sanctuary. Definitely not. Now, I love talking about red flags when you're meeting the girls here, but I'm going to tell you something. There are some huge, like, firework displays that go off when you meet some of the guys. And one of the guys that you're going to meet, and I have met so many of them here, and it always turns out to be that they are the most miserable people. And after about 5 or 6 days, block and delete, block and delete. It's the guy that has absolutely no ties to back at home. They'll tell you the same thing. Oh, I got married, got divorced. My kids hate me. Everybody hates me. Yeah, there's typically a reason, to be honest with you. I have not met one guy so far that has told me that story about how, I don't have a relationship with my kids because they sided with the wife. I don't have a relationship with my kids because they didn't like this, they didn't like that. I've not met one of them that is actually a nice guy that I would want to sit down and have a beer with to enjoy myself. I have sat down and had plenty of beers with these guys just for content, but I would never go, hey, do you want to meet up today for a beer? No, not in the least bit. And I'm going to tell you something. You will meet so many guys here that have the exact same story. It's, oh, I got divorced, and you know what, my fucking kids, they took her side, and blah, 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 this, and blah, 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 that. And you can see that the way they treat people here, if that's the way they treated people back there, no wonder you're completely alone in life, friend. No wonder, because you are the problem. It's not your kids back at home. It's most likely not your ex-wife. Well, she might have been driving you a little bit crazy, but I'm sure that you were an asshole then because you're an asshole now. And yeah, these guys that go on about how, oh, I got no ties, don't talk to anybody. Yeah. Nobody wants to talk to you is what it is, most likely. Yeah, wake up call. And even worse than that guy is the crypto con man. Listen, I have met so many people here that try to get me to invest in DeFi, crypto this, crypto that. They'll go on about how, oh, look, I X'd my money, I doubled my money, I did all of this, and they're going on about how, they're making so much money all the time by investing their money into these DeFi crypto things. Yet this is the same guy that's driving a 10, 15-year-old Click 125. They're bitching and complaining that there's not enough rice on their 50-baht chicken and rice meals. All they're trying to do is get you to put some money in, and they will start off with saying, oh, you know what, if you have $1,000 by 2 months, you can have double that. You can be making all of this money every day, and they'll show you these screenshots of how much money they're making. All they're trying to do is get you to download an app so that when you put their money in, they can start stealing your money, and typically within 2 to 3 days, 5 at the most, all of your money is gone. I know one of these guys, well, I should say I knew one of these guys really, really well because he lived beside me for about 2 months. And he kept going on and on and on to me about how much money you can make. He'd be on the phone all the time with his so-called mentor, and they'd be like, yeah, how much money did you make today? Oh, blah, blah, blah. It's bullshit. And that guy, why I say I used to know him, because he disappeared. He got some guys from Germany for about $14,000 or $15,000, and all I know is I was told by several different people in the know that they picked him up at a bar one night and took him to the jungle. Never been back since. All of his stuff was in his room, and the owner of the resort came, took it out, threw it away, and yeah, that was that. The crypto con man. You will meet them everywhere, and typically it's always the same guy. Like I said, it's that guy that's, eating the cheapest food that he possibly can and bitching that it's not enough. He's driving the shittiest bike that you can possibly find, but he's making hundreds and hundreds of dollars every day, and so can you if you just follow his program. Now, on that note, there are some crypto kings here. Usually they're younger kids. They've made a shit ton of money in crypto, whatever it is that they're doing, and they come here, they're balling out, they're getting big villas, they're going to all of the crazy parties, they're hitting the most expensive beach clubs, and they're just blowing through money like crazy. They're having a fantastic time. Myself, I would save a little bit for a rainy day. Not these guys. These guys are absolutely balling out. They're going on TikTok, they're showing these incredible receipts. I don't know if you've seen these receipts, but if you search Thai bar receipts on TikTok, some of them are spending 110, 120,000 baht a night at these beach bars, buying the girls drinks, getting bottle service, stuff like this. These guys are going absolutely crazy. For the most part, you're not going to meet them. You're going to see them on TikTok, but you're not going to be running in that circle with them unless you are a crypto kid yourself. If you are, congratulations. Save some for a rainy day. Trust me, it's going to start pouring soon. So at this point, you're probably wondering, are there any normal people there at all? And you know what? There are. I did that video, and if you haven't seen it, why I don't talk to expats, please watch that video. I'll put a link in the description below. Listen, I have met some amazing people. I have developed some friendships here that will probably last my entire lifetime. Some of the people I've met, I'm going to flat out say, Craig, if you're watching this video, you are probably the best person I've ever met in my life, and I'm really thankful for our friendship that we have. You can meet some incredible people. How I meet the really nice people, it's not by going to the bars. It's not by, hanging out on Bangalore Road or anything like that. What I do is I go on a lot of motorcycle tours. So I have joined some motorcycle groups here in Thailand, and I find that these are the guys that are getting out and seeing things. They're experiencing things. They're going on adventures. That's where I meet the nicest people. The guys that I'm using for content and stuff like that, I'm not, for the most part, meeting them through these types of activities. I'm meeting them at the bars, on the streets, or they're contacting me directly through YouTube, Facebook, you name it. I have people reach out to me all the time. I'm very careful as to who I meet. I'll be honest with you. I'll text with someone for several days or weeks before I ever meet them in person. If I'm out on the street and somebody stops me, well, there's not much I can do about that. However, if I find the situation creepy, I'm always like, oh yeah, I got to go here, I got to go there. Otherwise, I can stand there and talk to subscribers for hours, It's a great way to meet people. But yeah, there are definitely some normal people here, so don't worry about that. If you're coming here all by yourself, just be careful as to who you're meeting and be smart about where you meet people. Again, if you're going to be going to bars and stuff, you're going to be meeting that type of person. If you're going to be hanging out on Bangalore Road all of the time, you're going to meet that type of person. If you want to have adventures and stuff, there's all kinds of hiking groups, there's motorcycle groups, there's dive courses you can take, there's all kinds of ways to meet really interesting, cool people here who usually have an amazing story. One great thing about people who have traveled all around the world is they have the most incredible stories to tell. And they're usually more in tune with your line of thinking than someone who has never traveled. So yeah, Thailand is definitely full of some wackos, some weirdos, but also some incredibly amazing people, YouTubers included. Just saying. How about this one for the pot calling the kettle black? The influencers, the TikTok tough guys. I'm going to tell you something. Right now, Phuket, especially Patong, is full of wannabe influencers. You will see a bunch of these guys running around trying to be Tom Birchie with their phones up, doing these 1 minute long TikTok videos because of the whole wanting to cash in on the creators fund on TikTok right now. They are absolutely everywhere, and all they do is they just steal everybody else's stuff. They try to be more outlandish than the last guy, and the worst part is a lot of the stuff that they're saying, a lot of the advice they're giving people is really bad advice. It's 99% wrong and can actually get people into a lot of trouble. So yeah, sadly enough, you are going to find right now down on Phuket, especially in Patong, one shit ton of influencers. And it's not just guys, there's girls down there too. There are a couple of people that are doing some good content. Sadly enough, they're not getting a lot of views and stuff for some strange reason. I think it's because you almost have to be annoying to be successful on TikTok. You don't have to be pretty. I mean, look at the most successful TikTokers. With the exception of the girls, the guys are even worse than I am. That's saying a lot. It really is. So yeah, influencers, they are absolutely everywhere. Which brings us to the next absolute worst person you're going to meet. And then there's the YouTubers. Oh my goodness. They're everywhere. I see one every single day when I'm shaving. I do, it's true. Look, there is obviously a massive interest in Thailand, living, this dream and stuff. And there are a lot of people on YouTube all throughout Thailand, okay? You can't go anywhere in Thailand without somebody vlogging from there. Even the most remote little towns that I have gone and lived in, there's been another YouTuber there. And the worst part about the YouTubers is this, okay? I'm going to flat out tell you. I have, over the past couple of years, reached out to at least 25 YouTubers. I never got a response from one of them. Never once. Once they get more than 5 subscribers, all of a sudden they think that they're Mr. Beast, or their head gets this big. They don't want to talk to you. They don't want to help you. They don't want to interact with you at all, because it almost seems like they're worried that you're going to take their audience, which I'm going to tell you something, that's not going to happen. In all fairness, if you look at it from the algorithm perspective, you want as many people here making content about Thailand as possible, because the more people that are searching Thai content, the better chance someone's going to find your YouTube channel. The YouTubers can be really, really miserable, because a lot of them are just doing nothing but trying to drive business to their restaurants, their tour companies, their this, their that, their chat GPT generated tour guides that they're selling online, trying to get you to buy this, trying to get you to buy that, trying to get you to invest into crypto. But yeah, you're going to find a lot of YouTubers here. I'm guilty. And then there is the sex addict. And I'm going to tell you something. This guy actually does differ from the bar girl brother. The guy that loves to sit there talking to the bar girls, enjoys that atmosphere, This sex addict. The guy that is coming here and he's, getting girl after girl after girl. I am working on a video about a guy who is a Bangla Road bar girl addict. And you will not believe that story. It is 100% true, but you're not going to believe it. Anyways, the sex addict. You will find these guys everywhere. And the worst part is they will just start conversations with you about the most offensive shit you can possibly imagine. I have been in bars in Bangkok, sitting there completely by myself, have some guy come over to me, hey, blah, 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 this, and all of a sudden he starts bringing out his phone, showing me pictures and videos, and I'm like, it's creepy as. These guys are just consumed with girls, and you will see them on their phone all the time. Even when you're sitting there talking to them, they'll be texting and texting and texting all kinds of different girls. Just feed after feed after feed of girls. They're going out at nighttime. They're getting the short time, long time, this, that, you name it. They're not that bad to hang out with during the daytime if they can control themselves. But I have been in places with guys and I've seen them, walking around like a caged lion, and they just cannot wait to get to the girls. Now, along with the sex addict guy, and be friends with them, don't be friends, that's completely totally up to you. But there is a subculture of guys here, and I find this creepy as, who are constantly trying to find the youngest looking and smallest girls that they possibly can. I'm going to touch on this subject really quick, guys, so please listen to this one. There are bars here on Phuket and throughout Thailand that cater to this young girl fantasy, okay? And the girls do look like little tiny preteens, okay? As gross as that sounds, I know men here, they contact me all the time. I've seen them, I've met them, I've talked to them, and their number one goal is to find the youngest looking, tiniest little girls that they can. And usually these are fairly big guys that, There are a lot of bars here, guys, that do not give a shit about you and your safety, and they do have underage girls there because a lot of people are looking for that ideal of the tiny Thai girl, and you can get yourself into a shit ton of trouble. And I'm going to tell you point blank, a lot of people are going to say, oh, that's not true, but this is 1000% true. If you are in a bar that gets raided at nighttime and there is an underage girl there and she is with you currently on your lap, or you are touching her, and the police see this, you can and will be charged for sexual assault of a minor in Thailand. And I'm going to tell you something. That's going to destroy your life. All I'm going to say about it. In Thailand, yes, guys, I'm going to tell you something. You are going to meet a bunch of guys that are here for nothing but the sex, okay? I'm not judging them. I'm not saying that you can't be friends with them. I have several friends of mine who, that's all they do. That's the only thing they care about is, you know, shag, 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 shag. They're having a good time. They're not disgusting about it. I think it's kind of pathetic at times, but it is what it is. You will meet tons of these guys, and Thailand is, it's full of them. Now, quite honestly, I could go on forever. I really could, because I have met, like I said in the beginning, so many different, interesting, wacky people that it's absolutely insane. Listen, if you're prepared coming to Thailand, again, you can thrive here. Just be careful who you're meeting, who you're spending your time with, and make sure that you don't fall prey to people, because keep this in mind. There are so many people here looking to take advantage of you. It's not just the girls. You will find so many men here that are doing nothing but preying on the less intelligent, I guess is the best way to put it. I know guys that spend pretty much their entire time here doing nothing but trying to scam people. I've heard some crazy stories. Look, I fell for it one time. I'll give you a real quick story before I go here, okay? I was staying at the Marina Phuket Hotel. Beautiful hotel, rooftop pool. Met this older guy, and he was telling me about, he's just got out of a bike accident, blah, 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 blah. And he was walking around really, really harsh and stuff. And then he gets telling me about how, his damn debit card wouldn't work in the bank machine, and all of a sudden it ate his bank card. And I'm like, oh, geez, that's terrible, blah, 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 blah. So talking to him later on that day, and he's going on about how, he wish he could afford enough money to get something. And I'm like, here, buddy, here's 2,000 baht, okay? I swear to God, he was gone from the hotel within 2 minutes. Within 2 minutes, he checked out of the hotel, left, all for 2,000 baht. So yes, even the doctor is an idiot at times. I'm still living my best life possible. And if you, pay attention to your surroundings, understand who you're meeting, avoid the guys that you shouldn't be meeting and talking to, you're going to be living your best life possible. And anything less than the best, we know it. Again, guys, please, if you're not living your best life, find out what you need to do today to get living it, because again, you only have one. Till next time, guys, cheers.